First off, I'm not a survivalist. I am not a survivalist. I don't believe in stockpiling a whole bunch of water and food rations, buckets of dehydrated food, and all that kind of silly shit. I don't think that the economy is going to collapse anytime soon. In which case, as Jim Crebo, my neighbor when I was growing up, used to say, "Hey, if it comes down to shooting my neighbor for a gallon of gasoline, I'll save the last two shells for me and my wife." Just hell, it's just not worth it. But at the same time, there's certain things that you might not think about that are actually very useful to have. Not so much for an apocalyptic situation, but where just things get screwed up for a period of time. Like, for example, my eldest brother, Bruce, he lives in Houston, Texas, and they get hurricanes and stuff down there. And, sometimes they got to bug out, and they do the responsible thing and get the hell out. If the authorities are telling you leave, please leave. And he's prepared for that kind of stuff. He battens down his windows and stuff and gets the hell out of Dodge. And he's got his wife, who he does the right thing for. Get her out of there. Because the last time, think about it, not the last time, but we all lived through the flood of '93. In St. Louis, and I always get frustrated when you see people sitting, on the news. Well, the floodwaters are coming. You're told to evacuate. You need to leave. Oh, no, I ain't leaving. I've been living here for 40 years. That river's not kicking me off. Yeah, guess what? 2 weeks later, there's a National Guard helicopter hauling their ass off a roof somewhere. Number one, quickest cure to that is send that son of a bitch a bill for $250,000 for the National Guard to come up, haul their ass out of off the roof with a goddamn helicopter. Because that's what it costs the rest of us to bail your stupid ass out. But there's certain things that I think everybody ought to have. Just at home, number one, a few safety things, obviously. Know where the gas and water lines into your home are and know how to shut them off. That's a very clear thing. Try it. You might know, okay, when you buy a home or you move into a new place, go, yeah, there's the gas shut off. Try it. While the heating, ventilating, air conditioning guy HVAC guy's there, or the plumber's there, and he's working on your water heater, go, okay, fine. Okay, now the pilot's light, now I know how to light the pilot light. Have him show you. And then say, now how do I shut the gas off to the entire home? There you go. Try it. Does the valve actually work, right? Do you know how to do it? Do you know how to shut the water and the gas off to your home? At the same time, one of the things I'm thinking about, like for Christmas, could be to, I think a water filter. I do a lot of camping and bushcrafting and stuff, and I usually, have access to potable water, But a lot of times the potable water, like at a state park or a rest stop or something, it's potable, right? You're not going to die because they usually test that stuff relatively frequently. But at the same time, I've been out in the woods enough to know that, that's potable water. It was the last time they tested it, right? But then they don't, somewhere between, 2 months ago when they last tested it, there's a dead deer in that lake that's feeding that cistern, that you're getting your potable water from. It's not anymore. So that's why simple like a water filter is a good idea. And I'm not saying carry it with you all the time. I don't carry water filters around in my pocket when I'm going to the office. But you know what? Because I do a lot of camping and bushcrafting things, I have water filters and things that I use. I have a Life Straw. Which suck, by the way. They're great in emergencies, but that's it. That's it. I mean, it's like trying to suck a golf ball through a garden hose, Uh, I knew a girl once who could probably do that. But anyway, the point is, I prefer the something like a Sawyer Mini. Don't do the Sawyer Micros. They're just no, they just don't work. But like a Sawyer Mini or is probably the best thing. Catadine Be Free is a nice thing to have, but the problem with those is that you can't hook them up to anything. Like a Sawyer Mini, which I'm hoping to give to, my brothers and my son and my daughter-in-law and a few other people, maybe for Christmas, is you could screw those things onto a freaking 2 liter soda bottle or a regular water bottle or a garden hose, you know, and you can put water through there and it'll filter out a lot of stuff. It won't take care of viruses, but it'll take care of all the bacterial crap and sediments and all that kind of stuff. At the same time, I use those quite a bit, even when I'm at a campsite or something where there's potable water. A lot of times it's well water, and it's still potable. Remember, it's potable. You can drink it, but at the same time, it's interesting. You get your water out of there, put them in your water jugs or whatever, and you put it into a rest stop on the side of the highway. You put your water in a water container, and you filter it through there. And then when you get home, there's a mechanism like a plunger kind of thing, like a big syringe. But you hook it up there, and you squirt some clean water. When you get the clean water, push some clean water through there, the reverse side, and you'd be surprised the garbage that comes out of the back of that thing. And that's stuff that you would be drinking. So anyway, just a little point on, I think every home, just as I usually have, I'm not a prepper. I'm not a prepper. I'm not working for the end of the apocalypse. But I'm going. We've all been there. If you lived long enough, you've been in situations where, oh damn it, there's a water main break, brown water alert or something. You're not supposed. You had to boil your water and all this kind of stupid stuff. For maybe a week or so, a few days or a week, and then even then, they say, well, it's safe to drink the water. Well, you follow the instructions, follow what they tell you. You run your water through your pipes because by the time you got the alert that saying, oh, there's a water main break, you got all that crap water, that dirty water in your pipes, right? So you would need to, after they say, oh, it's all clear now, you need to run all that water, get clean water out there before you start drinking it. Anyway, the point being is that for those kind of situations, I usually keep like a couple of gallons, like, because I live alone. It's just me, and I don't need like take a shower bath every damn day. If the water's off, guess what? I'm skipping a shower. I'm just not taking a shower that day. And at the same time, you don't need clean water to flush your damn toilet. Even if you get your water shut off, you got a bucket, you fill it up with some water outside or from some other source. Turn your dirty water back on. Fill up a bucket with dirty water. Dump it in your toilet tank. Shut the water off. Dump it in your toilet tank, and then flush the toilet. That's fine. But at the same time, if you need something to drink and to cook with, then it's a good idea to have some kind of easy water source, maybe a couple of gallons of water from the grocery store. Just put them in your closet. But at the same time, date it. I take a magic marker and date them. And then like every couple of years, not every couple of years, but every year or so, a couple times a year, I'll go, oh, yeah, it's about time. It's just like you change the batteries in your smoke detectors, you replace your 2 gallons of water, that you've got in your closet. But at the same time, something just simple, like having that little, it's about 3 inches long and about maybe 1 inch around, water filter that'll screw on to a water bottle, which, well, if you're buying bottled water, what do you need a water filter for? Well, you don't, except for the fact that once you drink that empty bottle, that bottle of water, and it's empty, you can refill it with something and screw that water filter on there and drink out of there or squeeze it in something else. So the point is just, I think that's a very good idea that everyone ought to have in their closet somewhere, in their bug out bag. Again, I'm not a survivalist, but I'm going, look, we should have a first aid kit at home. We should have a decent first aid kit at home, and know where your things are, the flashlights, battery operated radio, or a hand crank radio, things of that nature. Now, for that kind of situation where you're dealing with maybe tornadoes, hurricanes, floods, that kind of thing, they can knock power out for a long time, right? Candles, not such a good idea. Not such a good idea, because you know what? You might have shut the gas off to your house, or did you? Did you remember to do that? And do you know? Did you do it properly? Are you couldn't? If the gas isn't coming through right now, and you shut the gas off, you go, well, I'm done. But then the gas comes back on, and you didn't know. You didn't either know, or your valve wasn't working properly, and the gas isn't actually shut off, is not actually shut off in your home. You don't really know that until you've tested it and tried it. And then all of a sudden you're sitting there at home with your candles or something, and shit. The last thing emergency services need to deal with is your dumbass house being on fire because you had a stupid fucking candle that you knocked over in the dark because you were bumbling around in the dark. Nah, this, avoid candles. If you do have enclosed candle lights, I prefer the UCO candle lights. I use those for camping and bushcrafting, because you knock that sucker over, it's going to go out. A coal oil, simple old fashioned stuff like a coal oil lamp or something. You fill one of those things up, and it'll last for like 3-4 days. Even small ones, even little itty bitty ones, you get like 12 hours worth of light out of those. 12, 18, 24 hours worth of light out of those things. Yes, it's still a fire risk, but it's better than a candle because it's closed flame, and if you spill it, you knock it over, most of them will just go out. But the point is that I'm just saying stupid, simple things that I think everybody ought to have. God dang water filter, and know how to use it, play with it. If I give you one for Christmas or birthday or something, play with it. Go, well, it's not really we're not talking doomsday prepper stuff here. We're just talking common sense. You adult, God damn it, act like one. My name's Alan, aka Still No Couch, and as always, may God bless and keep you and yours. Bye-bye.